Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with this week's edition of 90 Days and 900 Seconds, The Other Way, Season 5, Episode 6. Who's the Bossiest? That's easy. Angela. No, sorry, wrong show. That's The Last Resort. Anyway, if I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a C. Honestly, it was kind of boring. So let's set 900 seconds on the timer and let's hop right in. But let me tell you guys something. Um, First of all, they cut The Other Way to only an hour now because Last Resort premiered and Last Resort was 2 hours. So this episode of The Other Way was only an hour. And it looks like the future episodes may only be an hour. We shall see. So let's set 900 seconds on the timer and hop right in. And where we left off, Holly was crying in the dressing room because she thinks Wayne called her a prostitute. But Holly, Wayne is not calling you a prostitute. He just says you dress like a prostitute. You aren't a prostitute, you just dress like one. Okay? I just want to clarify this for you, girl. So she's crying in the dressing room, and her mom is, comforting her. And her mom's like, listen, he didn't mean to call you that. He's not calling you a prostitute. Okay? So she finally comes out of the dressing room. Her mom quickly is like, I'm getting the hell out of here. And Wayne's comforting her, and Wayne's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you that. I just want you to be safe. And she's like, you're supposed to be my biggest ally. And I just felt humiliated and ashamed that you were, I felt like you were saying that I was a prostitute. And he's just trying to express to her, no, honey, it's not that I'm saying that you are a prostitute. Just the way that you dress is like the way a prostitute would dress. Okay. So he suggests she takes a self-defense class, because nothing like convincing the woman of your dreams to move to your country, like suggesting that she take a self-defense class in case she's walking down the street and someone grabs her by her neck. She knows how to slam them to the ground. So Holly is taking this class and she's feeling empowered. She's feeling empowered if some dude comes up behind her. Just because she took the self-defense class, she could slam him to the ground, no problem. So did you know that she goes jogging around cemeteries at night in the United States? That's really safe to do. Okay, I don't care if you're in Utah, Montana, New York, South Africa. Jogging around cemeteries does not sound like a really safe thing to do at night. Even during the day, not for nothing, okay? But, girl likes to jog around a cemetery or two at night, and she wants to keep up this activity in South Africa. And you could see Wayne, his head is about to explode. He's like, no, you can't do these things here. This is not America. So Wayne's like, maybe in about a year, I'll be able to let you out of your cage. I feel safe enough to be able to let you out of your cage. And Holly's like, I can't jog around cemeteries. Okay. So load shedding is a nightmare for Holly. She can't deal with the load shedding situation there because every time they turn the power off, she can't see while she's getting ready. I guess brushing her hair must be a nightmare because, it takes her really, really long to brush her hair. And I guess when the power goes out, it's a pain in the ass to see what she's doing. So she decided that they were going to look at houses. Even though Wayne has expressed to her before that he has no desire to sell his house, he's put a lot of work into it. And now we find out that he's basically broke. His financial situation is not what it used to be when his and Holly's relationship first started. His business was flourishing. Yes, it was. But he lost a huge contract. And things aren't going so well now. And Holly's not really aware of it. But Holly wants to move into a gated community because Holly believes that gated communities are safer. And Wayne, you know, I mean, I get it. New Yorkers are kind of like this too, straightforward. Wayne's like, listen, one of my friends got shot in the neck through the gate of a gated community. So it's not safe anywhere down here. Okay. But that's not really like convincing anybody of anything that, like, okay, dude, thanks. But he agrees to go with her, look at a couple of houses just to pacify her. But pacifying her is not going to get you anywhere, Wayne, because Rapunzel wants her castle in a gated community. And she would love it if she could have power 24/7 so she could brush her hair and she could see what she's doing. Because remember, ultimately, she's living out her Disney fairy tale in South Africa with you. And I don't know how this is going to turn out. So, yeah. Next, Kenny and Armando. They go to a fertility clinic to inquire about surrogacy. Okay? Now, first of all, Kenny having another child at 63 is a huge ass deal. Because as he pointed out, when the kid is graduating from high school, he'll be pushing 80. When the kid is getting ready to be married, he may or may not be around. He will not be around to see this kid's children. Like he's pushing it. Armando will be around, but Kenny won't. These are all things that they need to think about. Armando, totally in on the idea. Plus, it's so much cheaper in Mexico to do this. It's only $75,000 compared to what the cost could be in the US. Armando, he's on board. Leave it up to him. They would have found a surrogate yesterday. They would have been on board with the process and they would have got it going yesterday. Kenny, on the other hand, he's not so sure. And he's thinking about all the pros and cons. And they, start having a conversation about it after the fertility visit clinic. I mean, the clinic at the fertility clinic visit, sorry. And it starts to get emotional because Armando feels like Kenny is trying to tell him no without telling him no. And Kenny is trying to tell Armando his feelings, just expressing, listen, I'm old. And if we have a biological child, I'm probably not going to be around to see this child make 18. And looking into adoption may be a better choice for us. And Armando gets really emotional because they did try to look into adoption before. And as you may or may not remember, the process could take 4 years or more. And that's a really long flipping time. So it was very emotional. This season has been very emotional for Armando. He has cried a lot so far. So, boy, let's see what happens now. Okay, next, we have Kirsten and Julio. And Julio is really pissing me the fuck off. That's all I have to say. So he's driving Kirsten to the airport. And he's like, oh, the vibe is weird. I wonder why, dude, okay? She came to the United States on a trip. And she thought she was just coming to meet your family, meet your friends. Everything was going to stay on plan. You were going to stay on plan and move back with her in 3 months. And you guys are just going to live your life like you have been discussing all along. And now, suddenly, 2 weeks later, she doesn't know where her relationship stands because you, Julio, keep swinging back and forth. You, Julio, are susceptible to suggestion. Julio, somebody throws out a thought out there, and you're like, oh, yeah, I think that we should do that, Kirsten. Do you blame the girl for having a weird vibe? She's going home, and she doesn't know where her relationship stands. But they make a pinky promise at the airport that Julio will be moving back to the Netherlands within 3 months, like promised. But you know something? I think he was crossing his fingers behind his back as he was making the pinky promise to Kirsten because he is too flaky. I don't believe that he is going to move back as promised, but we shall see. I could be wrong, but I'm probably right. Now, finally, we have Kimberly and TJ. And I saw a tweet today on social media that had me dying. This family deserves a Family Chantel spinoff. The argument between Yash and Kimberly, that was just like a Chantel and Nicole argument. It was too funny, okay? So first of all, we leave off with Yash and Kimberly arguing over Yash calling Kimberly stupid. And Kimberly is like, I'm not stupid. Do not call me stupid. And Yash, with the only comeback, said, okay, Einstein. Do you like that better? You are the wisest person. Einstein. I shall call you Einstein. I died. Yash with the comebacks, okay? I died. So then he's Kimberly's trying to express that the family not wanting her to cook onions and garlic. This is all just too restricting for her, okay? They're restricting her way too much and she can't deal with it. And Yash is just trying to tell her, listen, bitch, you have to deal with it, okay? This is not America. In Indian culture, you have to deal with it, okay? There is compromise both ways. And the argument is just going back and forth, back and forth. So then it turns ugly when Yash says to her, he tries to make a joke and he says to her, you have to make him king and he will make him prince. He will make you prince. And he touches Kimberly's leg. And Kimberly says to him, please do not touch me. And Yash looks at her with a disgusted look on his face and says, and this is why I cannot deal with you. And Kimberly said, well, at least I said please, and I didn't say, get your fucking hand off my leg. And Yash is like, basically, in not so many words, you're a nasty bitch. You're trash. He did say you're trash. And the only reason why I'm dealing with this trash is because of TJ. TJ is the only reason why I'm dealing with this trash. My parents are dealing with this trash. And this marriage is not going to last because you are trash. Okay? So Kimberly's like, TJ is the only reason why I'm here. And I'm not changing, period. If you don't like it, Yash, your parents don't like it, Yash, oh well, I don't give a fuck. I'm not changing, period. Okay? Get over it. The next scene, TJ is like, I cannot have my brother and Kimberly fighting like this. This is going to set the tone for 20 years down the line, because my brother's going to be living with us even after he gets married, because joint family situation in India, okay? So we have to hash this out. So now Kimberly has a totally different tone. She's sitting there calm as a cucumber, And Yash is like, oh, she wasn't like this before when it's just me and her. Her energy before was all turned up. And now she's calm as a cucumber. And TJ's like, yes, so why can't you be calm? Like, why are you all worked up? And Yash is just like, it didn't go well. Just put it that way. The meeting did not go well at all. Yash does not like Kimberly. Kimberly does not like him. But the good thing was TJ stood up for Kimberly. TJ stood up for Kimberly, but at the expense of his relationship with his brother. So I don't know. I don't think this is going to turn out well. I mean, for the first time in 90-day history, we have an Indian relationship where the parents actually approve of the American. There is not a huge age gap between the American and the Indian. And I don't know. But I don't know if this is going to work because of the personality clash and just the culture clash. Because Kimberly is just too, I hate to say it, Kimberly is too Western. Okay. And TJ's family, his parents, you could see it in his brother. They are just traditional. And the traditional and the Western are going to collide, and it's not going to be good. I see it. I feel it in my bones. And unfortunately, TJ is going to be the one stuck in the middle. So that is all. And that is all I have to say about this episode. Honestly, it was quite boring. It was only an hour long, and we shall see what happens next week. I will be covering Last Resort, however, so watch out for my 90 days and 900 seconds for a Last Resort. I shall upload that hopefully today. So check that out. And that is all. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit the like button and share my video with a friend or 10. Thank you so much. Bye.